Hey guys, welcome back to our blog. Today we have a very cool video as we share success stories with our own blog that we launched less than 2 months ago from scratch on a brand new domain with no history. And also on the example of our user, whose site several years ago came under Google filters for duplicate content, and with the help of OhContent, he successfully returned to the game. So let's go. First, let's take a look at our blogaboutcontent.com. The blog is filled entirely with the help of OhContent, with the exception of a few posts about the service itself. We do not buy paid links, articles, and generally do not promote it in any way. We deliberately didn't buy a domain with a history, but chose a completely new domain to show how OhContent works with completely new sites. We can check the history of the domain on a special website, fill in our domain there, and after a few seconds you can see that the domain has not been used by anyone before and has a registration date of April 8, 2022. Okay, now let's look at the metrics in the Google Search Console. So we started publishing blog posts on April 18th. And in the first 3 weeks, Google almost did not react to us at all and indexed posts very sluggishly, despite the fact that our sitemap is updated every hour. But already after the first month of work, Google began to crawl several hundred old people daily. And by the end of the second month of work, crawling was already scanning more than 1,000 pages daily. This suggests that for new blogs that do not use additional SEO promotion, except for OhContent, the first 1.5 to 2 months of work will be in the sandbox zone. Let's move on to the statistics of impressions and clicks. Set the newest date. Impressions show that in the first 3 weeks the blog was almost not visible in the search. But after this period, we can observe a steady increase in values from several hundred to several thousand per day. The clicks are also growing, although there are not so many of them, but I repeat, we do not promote our blog with any classic SEO methods, such as buying links, seeding in social networks, etc. All this is achieved only through the content itself. And let's take a look at the performance metrics in one of the most complete and relevant services for SEO, Ahrefs. Ignore the total number of backlinks. It's just one link placed in the footer of one site. We are interested in metrics, referring domains, and organic keywords. Within 1 month of starting work, the number of referring domains began to grow, and in less than 3 weeks there were more than 70 referring domains. In the keyword statistics, we see strong growth, with some keywords even appearing in the top 3. In summary, we can say for sure that for a blog that uses nothing but OhContent, this is more than a cool result in less than 2 months of work. If we add classic SEO tools here with buying links, publishing posts in social networks, and more, this result can be increased by several tens of times. We will return to this blog in a few months to fix the update. Okay, now let's take a look at the news site of one of our users. A few years ago his site was quite popular and at some point the traffic reached 400 visits per minute. But after some time, the site fell under the Google filter and actually became an abandoned project. A few years later, he decided to try OhContent and here are the results. In September, he used the startup plan and began to grow slightly in metric values. He switched to the viral site plan a couple of months ago and seems to be having huge success, especially in terms of keywords that are in the top 10 of the SERP, one of the most important indicators, which reached him about 3,000 keywords on the first pages of Google. Not surprisingly, he receives about 25,000 visits from search alone. But, as the user says, much more traffic comes from other sites, referrers, that is, his site is read. Links are published on other sites, in social networks and so on. This is noticeable in the statistics of referring domains. Their number has again grown to de-indexing values. Well, I hope you were impressed by the experience of us and our users in using OhContent. Follow our updates. In the next videos we will talk about the uniqueness of the content received with the help of OhContent.